This is the specialized gun I was talking about.
Welcome back, Joseph Kendo here. Today on the gun bench, we have the Punisher, the high-velocity polymer-framed handgun that can pierce a hole through numerous enemies with a single shot. While many will obtain this weapon through conventional means, most will remember it as the specialty handgun that was awarded to players who were willing to assist a stranger with a personal request. Now that we have it in our hands, let's take a look into the traits that give the Punisher a unique armor-piercing capability and attempt to determine the motivations of the mysterious man who distributes this weapon. The Punisher made its first appearance in the original release of Resident Evil 4. Moments after completing the opening act of the game, players are given free rein to safely explore the village and will be directed to proceed through the farming region. As players investigate this environment, they will begin to encounter shimmering blue medallions, and a similar-looking manuscript can be found pinned onto the trunk of an old tree. Upon examination, it reads,
About the blue medallions. 15 blue medallions. 7 in the farm. 8 in the cemetery. For those of you who destroy 10 or more will be awarded.
The rest is illegible. This message informs the player that the medallions are destructible and that their meaning goes beyond decoration for a certain individual. If we take a closer look at their inscribed design, the insignia matches the one printed in the note, which symbolizes a religious cult that's been localized to this region, known as Los Illuminados. In response, players are sent on a search to destroy the hidden medallions, which can be achieved by finding each miniature target and shattering them with a well-placed shot. Although, it should be told that this task is entirely optional, as breaking the medallions will not benefit the player until they've had their chance to meet the man behind the message. At the start of Chapter 1-2, players will have their first encounter with the mysterious figure.
Over here, stranger.
This masked individual is introduced as the merchant and welcomes you to view his selection of fine wares.
Got something that might interest you.
By viewing the inside of his coat, his line of merchandise is now revealed, which ranges from an impressive selection of firearms, including bolt-action rifles, submachine guns, and even rocket launchers, all of which are available for purchase through the use of an outdated currency to Spain known as pesetas. How he procured this supply of exceptionally modern firearms and antiquated weapons of war has yet to be understood. And at this point in the game, it's unclear whether he's really on your side, or just an arms dealer who's peddling weapons in a remote region to wage small wars. But before leaving, the merchant makes sure to notify the player with an important message that reads,
Don't know if you've noticed, stranger, but did you see the blue medallions hanging around in the village? Come back after you've shot 10 or more of them. I've got a specialized gun I want you to try out.
As such, players must progress to the cemetery to complete this challenge, and just before entering this area, players will once again cross paths with the traveling salesman, who has an important reminder that reads,
So, stranger, any luck with the blue medallions? Remember, shoot 10 or more to get your specialized gun.
As a result, players are now able to successfully destroy the last remaining medallions, and once they make their way back down to the merchant, he will congratulate the player upon serving them his reward, and his message reads,
Well done, stranger. I see you've shot enough number of medallions. Like I promised, go claim your specialized gun in the buy screen. Don't worry about money. This one's on the house.
This anticipated weapon is unveiled to be a new handgun named the Punisher. And for those who manage to break all 15 medallions, the Punisher will be rewarded with a bonus upgrade to increase its firepower.
This is the specialized gun I was talking about.
Outside of this, the Punisher is still obtainable to players who skip this challenge by purchasing it at any point after Chapter 2-3 for the price of 20,000 pesetas.
A wise choice, mate. Its ammo will penetrate just about anything.
Once obtained, the Punisher will appear in the attaché case, and upon examination, its description reads, This 9mm handgun will blast a hole through 2 enemies. How the Punisher is able to perform such a feat is not properly explained in-game, although we can answer this question by looking at the specifications of its real-life design. The Punisher in Resident Evil 4 is based on the first-generation model of the 5.7, which was designed by the Belgian firearms manufacturer, Fabrique Nationale. At first, it may appear to be your usual handgun, but what makes the 5.7 unique is its specialized caliber, designated as the FN 5.7 x 28mm cartridge. These rounds enable its magazine to hold a generous capacity of 20 rounds, but more importantly, they have been designed to achieve a remarkably high velocity, which results in the gun's armor-piercing capability. When taking a closer look at the model of the Punisher in-game, it actually appears to resemble two different versions of the 5.7. This observation can be made on the inconsistent features of its design, which depicts the same front sight and absent slide lock of the original 5.7, while sporting the same accessory rail and safety selector of the 5.7 Tactical. Aside from this, several other features were changed as well, which include the addition of canted slide serrations, a rough textured pattern on the grip, and a skeletonized straight-pulled trigger. And as for the laser aiming sight, the exact model is not clearly recognizable, although it appears to be loosely based on the LaserTac system made by Laser Devices Incorporated. When equipped, the Punisher does not actually shoot specialty ammunition, but instead shares the same 9mm rounds used by the other handguns in the game, although its performance still reflects the abilities of the real-life 5.7. From first impression, the Punisher's velocity is illustrated by the sharp sound of its shots. And when it's in use, each shot that hits an enemy will leave through the other end, which means each bullet is capable of hitting two enemies at once. This ability encourages players to line up groups of ganados to deal collateral damage and save a few extra rounds. Furthermore, this penetrative ability can be used to disarm an enemy's defense, since its shots puncture through wooden shields that appear in later stages of the game. To capitalize on this unique effect, the Punisher's exclusive upgrade can be purchased for 40,000 pesetas. With it, the Punisher can now shoot through 5 enemies in a row, and effectively maintain crowd control when facing a larger group of enemies. Apart from this, the Punisher has the most stable recoil of all the handguns, and is tied for being the fastest reloading weapon in the game. Despite these advantages, the Punisher performs with the weakest firepower compared to other handguns, and it can take up to 9 shots to defeat a single ganado without upgrades. Because of this, experienced players usually sell it back to the merchant after it's been obtained, but most don't complain if they receive this weapon free of cost.
Thank you.
Long after its first appearance, the Punisher did not return until the remake release of Resident Evil 4. For this entry, the Punisher is obtained in a similar fashion, despite the numerous changes that were made to update the experience for returning fans. Once again, as players approach the farm, they will begin to encounter the blue medallions. Although this time around, most of their locations have been rearranged and are now scattered around different corners to renew the challenge. And before exiting the farm, a familiar blue manuscript can be found pinned to a wall, which now reads,
"For the love of God, will somebody please get rid of the blue medallions those religious lunatics left hanging around?"
This message also suggests that a total of 5 medallions are located in this region, and if players successfully track them all down, they will win their reward upon meeting the merchant.
Over here, stranger.
Unlike the original game, the Punisher will not be granted upon completing this challenge, and players will receive 3 spinels instead. However, these spinels can be used to earn the Punisher, since it's now offered as an exclusive product in the merchant's trade front, and once 5 spinels have been collected, they can be exchanged to claim this weapon.
A wise choice, mate. Its ammo will penetrate just about anything.
Once obtained, the Punisher will appear in the player's attaché case, and upon examination, it reads, "A handgun with excellent penetration power. Its short barrel and low recoil make it easy to handle, and an optimal choice of sidearm." When taking a look at this rendition of the Punisher, we can quickly identify that it's modeled after a different design than the original game. While it still appears as a 5.7, it's now based on a later generation version, known as the 5.7 USG. However, the specific color variation seen in-game is commercially recognized as the 5.7 FDE. This model is distinguished by a flat dark earth polymer frame, along with several updated features that were revised to improve this platform, including a slimmed-down trigger guard, adjustable rear sight, and proper mil-spec Picatinny rail. Unlike the Punisher's previous iteration, there's only a few subtle details that deviate this model from its real-life design, which include the shape of its backstrap, trigger, and front sight. Once equipped, the Punisher will still be chambered to shoot 9mm rounds, although the sound of its shots will tell you otherwise, since it still achieves the same penetrative abilities of the original game. To start, the Punisher is capable of shooting 2 enemies at once, with each of its shots passing through the first target and hitting any victim who stands on the other end. As such, its shots are still armor-piercing and will quickly dismantle an enemy's defense by shooting through wooden shields. As one would expect, purchasing the Punisher's exclusive upgrade for 66,500 pesetas enables it to shoot through 5 enemies, and will encourage players to strategically line up their targets for an opportunity to deal maximum damage. Once again, the Punisher performs with the most controllable recoil, and it shares the same drawback of being the weakest handgun available. But this is where similarities end, since it's now considered the most precise handgun in use, given its ability to maintain reticle focus tightly while shooting. On top of this, the Punisher is one of 3 handguns that can be equipped with the laser sight, which allows players to aim with consistency and hit their targets with a high degree of accuracy. What often goes untold is that an alternate version of the Punisher is available for use in the bonus mode, Separate Ways. Here, this weapon is available to purchase from the merchant during Ada's first visit, which is offered at the price of 10,000 pesetas, but is now given the new name of Punisher MC. This version also happens to be bundled with a free laser aiming sight if it's obtained during Chapter 2. Upon examination, the hidden meaning behind its new name can be uncoded, as its description reads: a handgun that retains excellent penetration power with low recoil. It is custom made by the merchant. This description suggests the initials MC stand for Merchant Custom, despite this version sharing an identical appearance to the Punisher from the main game. At first, it appears to share the same performance as well, but it now delivers 15% more damage when fully upgraded. And while the Merchant Custom may feel like an unnecessary addition to some, it now stands as one of the most well-rounded handguns in the game. Of all the weapons in Resident Evil 4, the Punisher is often considered the least effective in the game, although it is still capable of excelling under the right circumstances and can effectively kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But from a broader view, the Punisher holds a unique position as the first weapon that's been gifted to players who are willing to stray from the path and offer their helping hand to a nomadic shopkeeper. To this day, not much is known about the merchant, where he came from, or why he decided to name this weapon the Punisher. And while the merchant's task to hunt down religious pendants demonstrates his grievance towards Los Illuminados, it's unclear what events led to the personal feud between each entity. But like many other aspects of the merchant, the more we learn about his background, the more questions we have. And it's this very quality that positions him as the mysterious figure that we will never truly understand. So, that's it for the Punisher, the merchant's prized weapon that was obtainable by all players, who made sure to keep an open eye. Be sure to check out our KendoGunShop merchandise. Our new line of t-shirt and sticker designs are now available. You can find the link to the shop down below. If you'd like to help the KendoGunShop expand its business past Raccoon City, share the video with your friends to help spread the word, or feel free to leave us a tip over at our Patreon, link in the description. Make sure to leave us a comment on what guns from the series you'd like to see a video on next. And don't forget to come back and visit us at the gun shop for more content about the firearms of Resident Evil.